The hunter's hubris, the Vresh dominion, an ancient species of apex predators, had ruled the galactic hunting grounds for millennia. Their ships, sleek and deadly, prowled the stars, preying on lesser civilizations. They were masters of bioengineering, crafting weapons that could devastate entire ecosystems. For them, hunting was not just survival, it was art, culture, and identity. Entire planets bore the scars of their hunts, their ecosystems altered or destroyed to serve the Vresh's twisted sense of sport. The Dominion's reputation as the galaxy's ultimate predators was unchallenged, until humanity emerged. Humanity, by contrast, was a newcomer to the galactic stage. Earth's sudden emergence as a spacefaring species caught the attention of the Vresh. Initially, humanity seemed unremarkable. Their ships were clunky, relying on outdated kinetic weapons rather than the sleek, energy-based arsenals favored by advanced civilizations. Their biology was frail, their lifespan short. Yet, what truly intrigued the Vresh was humanity's audacity. Despite their apparent inferiority, humans had an uncanny ability to adapt and improvise, turning even the most dire situations to their advantage. To the Vresh, humans were a curiosity, and soon, a challenge. The Vresh Council of Predation deliberated. For weeks before issuing the decree, humanity would be marked as their next prey. To the Vresh, hunting humans would be a rite of passage, a demonstration of their supremacy. The first encounters were swift and brutal. Vresh raiding parties struck human colonies on the outer rim, capturing thousands. For the Vresh, the screams of their prey were a symphony, and humanity's disarray was a spectacle. They expected humanity to crumble under the weight of their assault, as so many others had before them. Humanity's response, however, was far from what the Vresh anticipated. Messages of distress flooded Earth's communication networks, and while fear gripped the population, a simmering anger began to take root. The United Earth Command, a coalition hastily formed to defend against external threats, scrambled to organize a response. Military strategists, engineers, and scientists worked around the clock, analyzing every piece of Vresh technology they could scavenge. Against the Vresh's advanced bioengineering, humanity seemed hopelessly outmatched. But that perception would soon change. The Vresh saw the hunt as a game, but humanity saw it as war. And war was something humans excelled at. The turning point. The turning point came on a cold, desolate moon orbiting Tau Ceti. The Vresh had set a trap, broadcasting a fake distress signal to lure a human fleet. The humans, driven by a mix of desperation and determination, took the bait. As soon as the fleet exited hyperspace, the Vresh pounced, their ships descending like a pack of wolves. Their sleek organic vessels darted between human ships, firing precise energy blasts that disabled systems and tore through hulls. It was a slaughter, or so the Vresh thought. What they didn't realize was that humanity had anticipated the ambush. The fleet's flagship, Resolute, unleashed a barrage of experimental weapons. These were not the traditional lasers or plasma cannons. They were electromagnetic pulse mines and nanite swarms designed to disrupt the Vresh's bioengineered systems. The Vresh ships faltered, their organic hulls writhing as the nanites burrowed into their infrastructure. Engines sputtered, weapons misfired, and ships spiraled out of control. Captain Elena Drake, commanding officer of the Resolute, delivered humanity's first major victory against the Vresh. Her strategy was simple: fight asymmetrically. She recognized that humans couldn't match the Vresh in a traditional battle. Instead, she turned their own arrogance against them, exploiting their reliance on bioengineered technology. Drake's leadership became legendary almost overnight. Her ability to inspire her crew and outthink the enemy made her a symbol of humanity's resilience. The victory at Tau Ceti was a shock to the Vresh Dominion. For the first time in millennia, their prey had fought back and won. The news spread like wildfire, igniting hope across human colonies. Earth's leaders declared a day of remembrance for those lost in the battle and a celebration of their hard-earned victory. The Vresh, meanwhile, were forced to reconsider their perception of humanity. What they had dismissed as primitive creatures now posed a genuine threat. But the Vresh were not deterred. If anything, the defeat fueled their desire to crush humanity. They saw it not as a failure, but as a challenge to their supremacy. The Dominion began mobilizing larger fleets, deploying more advanced hunters, and developing new bioengineered horrors. For the Vresh, the hunt was far from over. The prey strikes back. The Vresh retaliated with overwhelming force. Entire human colonies were razed, their populations either slaughtered or captured. The Dominion's hunting parties grew more aggressive, deploying tactics designed to instill terror. Yet with each attack, humanity adapted. Engineers developed new countermeasures, scientists studied captured Vresh technology, and soldiers honed their tactics. Humanity's ability to learn and evolve became their greatest weapon. On the planet Avalon, a former agricultural colony, a group of human survivors set a trap that would go down in history. Using guerrilla tactics, they lured a Vresh hunting party into a dense jungle. The Vresh, confident in their superiority, pursued without caution. What they didn't realize was that the jungle had been rigged with improvised explosives and chemical traps. By the time the Vresh realized their mistake, it was too late. The survivors had turned the hunters into the hunted. This victory was broadcast across human-controlled space, inspiring hope and defiance. Humanity's message to the galaxy was clear. They would not go quietly into extinction. The War of Shadows. As the conflict escalated, humanity shifted its focus to psychological warfare. The Vresh were predators, but their pride made them predictable. Human operatives infiltrated Vresh-controlled systems, spreading disinformation and sowing discord. False reports of human fleets in Vresh territory forced the Dominion to divert resources. Meanwhile, human saboteurs targeted key Vresh facilities, crippling their ability to produce bioengineered weapons. One of the most daring operations was led by Commander Aiden Cross. Disguised as a Vresh vessel, his team infiltrated a Dominion biofactory orbiting the gas giant Zaloth. The factory was responsible for creating the Vresh's most fearsome biological weapons. Cross's team planted a series of charges, destroying the facility and setting back the Dominion's war efforts by decades. The operation came at a cost. Cross and his team were captured during their escape. They were subjected to brutal interrogation, but even under torture, they refused to reveal critical information. To the Vresh, this level of resilience was incomprehensible. It was a testament to humanity's unyielding spirit. The trap humanity's final plan was audacious. They aimed to lure the Vresh Dominion's fleet into a trap that would cripple their military power. Using captured Vresh technology, human engineers created a false signal mimicking a distress call from a high-ranking Dominion leader. The signal was broadcast from the uninhabited Zeta Prime system, a region filled with volatile asteroid fields. The Vresh took the bait. Their fleet, massive and overconfident, arrived at Zeta Prime expecting an easy victory. What they found instead was a battlefield rigged with kinetic bombardment platforms, EMP mines, and human ships armed with experimental weaponry. The battle was chaotic. The void lit up with explosions as human forces struck with precision. Vresh Fleet's flagship, Eternal Hunger, was the final target. Captain Drake, leading the assault, personally piloted a prototype fighter into the ship's core, delivering the payload that destroyed the flagship from within. The loss of the Eternal Hunger marked the collapse of the Dominion's central command. The new hunters with the Dominion's fleet shattered. Humanity went on the offensive. No longer content to defend, they took the fight to the Vresh homeworlds. Colonies that once feared extinction now became strongholds of resistance. The Vresh, for the first time in their history, experienced what it was like to be prey. Human engineers developed new generations of warships, incorporating salvaged Vresh technology. These ships, faster and deadlier than anything humanity had previously fielded, spearheaded the campaign into Dominion space. On the planet Kralath,